Yes, there's a quiz tomorrow. Don't freak out. If you're doing your homework and you study, then you should be good. But think about what it means to study. So please make sure you go back over your notes, go back over worksheets, okay? And I'll be tutoring tomorrow morning, so if you want to stop in, just know that there will be several students, but you're welcome to stop in, okay? All right, let's go to the homework for tonight, starting with number 18. So number 18, so this is what the packet looks like, translations practice, and I'm going to go back to 18. Now 18, all I see are graphs, and I don't know what the directions are, so flip back a page, and this is what it says. Write a rule to describe each transformation. Okay, so let's go to number 18. Alright, so number 18, we see here that if we're going to write a rule, the way I told you guys to write the rule, you're always going to start off with parentheses x comma y, parentheses arrow. Okay, so let me let that focus. And as with any video, guys, try to do as much on your own and then just come back to check. Now the important thing is this is your pre-image, and this part is the rule that's going to tell you where the image, how you're going to get the image. So if you take a look here, you can tell that this WXV is the pre-image because it has no primes. So this is where you start, this is where you finish. Okay, so because the primes are over here. So then we have these, this pre-image. Now, if I were to use patty paper, it would look something like this. So I would trace the pre-image, and if you already understand what to do, then you can obviously fast forward through this, but W, V, and X. Okay, not perfect, but hopefully you get the point. Okay? So then if I translate it, slide, 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 the W should match up with the W prime behind it. The X should match up with the X prime behind it, and then V with the V prime behind it. So then if that's truly how it's supposed to end up, which it is, then we should go ahead and look at point to point. Okay, so go from one point to the other. Alright. So for example, let's say you're like, well, Ms. Hong, I want to check X. Alright, so let's say we decide to check X, and I would circle X and then circle X prime. Okay, so then now you're going to see, well, how did I get from X to X prime? So if you want to do the X axis first, or X movement first, you do left and right movement. So I would write the description here first. So you'd have to go 1, 2, 3 to the left, because I'm putting my pencil on the pre-image, and then I have to go 1, 2, 3 to the left, and then 1 unit down, because I go 1, 2, 3, and then go down 1. Then I end up on X prime. Well, what if I didn't use X and X prime? What if I use W and W prime? Well, it should still do the exact same thing. So if I put my pencil on W, I go left 1, 2, 3, and then go down, it gives me W prime. And that should be true for V and V prime as well. Go left 3 and down 1. Because every one of these should have translated 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3, and then down 1. Okay? So since we're going, this is your X movement and this is your Y. Why is that? Because left movement can only be done by X movement. The X axis can only go left or right. Now down movement is a Y movement. So then let's go ahead and say, all right, well, how do I go 3 left? So over here, how do you show that rule? You start with the X again, but you're going 3 to the left, you're subtracting 3. Okay, comma. Now you're going to go down 1, Y minus 1, because you went down 1. Okay, so the down movement goes with the Y, and it's down because it's negative, or it's negative because it's down. And that's your rule. So I would start with this first, and knowing which one's your X and Y, and then go and write. So remember that this here, do not switch it up. Okay, the 3 has to be with the X, and the 1 has to be with the Y. Okay, moving on. Number 20. So I'm going to look at the pre-image. I know I'm going to write my rule again, so I'm going to start off this way, okay? And then I'm going to take a look here. So I'm going to, I know, again, if I had a patty paper, which I don't want you to be dependent on it, but it's definitely helpful when you're first learning this. So what is the entire triangle doing? It went up 1, 2. Okay, so let's look at one point at a time. So let's say like, oh, I want to compare x with x prime. Now I see a little x-axis here, so don't get confused by the extra letter here. But so it went from x, it went up 1, 2. And then that's it. V went up 1, 2, and then W went up 1, 2. There was no left and right movement. So since nothing happened, this is a Y movement because it went up. Okay, remember Y is up and down movement. So that means the X didn't go left or right. It stayed exactly the same. So you're going to write X comma. And then you're going to write Y, and then it went up 2. So up, it gets positive, and then plus 2. Okay, that's number 20. Let's flip to number 23. Okay, what were the directions for 23? I have to flip back. Hold on. So 23 says, find the coordinates of the vertices of each figure after the given transformation. Okay. So 23. So technically, if I have to find coordinates, I need to go ahead and put a 0 here. This is -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. Notice I'm not numbering the spaces, I'm numbering the actual interval, the grid. So this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remember, numbers to the left of 0 negative, to the right of 0 positive. Numbers above the 0 is 1. I mean positive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't mistake those as negatives. Down here, you have that, which is kind of in the way with the 0. I might have to move that 0. Let me move that 0. Maybe I'll put it here. Okay, so this right here is -1. This is -2. This is -3. And then this -4 and -5. Okay? So now we're going to take the J, we're going to move it 2 units left and 7 units up. So from J, put my pencil, I'll go left 1, 2, and then go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plot it, label it J prime, but what are the coordinates for that? So J prime, to get the coordinates, you actually need to go put your pencil at the origin, 0, 0. Now do the X first. So you have to go left 1 and then up 4 to get to J prime. So it's left 1 and up 4. And that's your coordinates. Number 23. Oh, that was number 23. Number 25. Now this is a multiple choice question. So there's fast ways to do this, but let me show you the slightly longer way. First of all, you got to pay attention to the fact that it's translating 1 unit down. And since I need to know coordinates, I'm just going to go ahead and number these. Okay, this is my origin, so I'm going to put a 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And then these are negative. Okay. Over here is positive. Okay, negative. Kind of hard to number when the picture's kind of in the way, the figure. So now you're going to take this entire thing and you're going to move it down 1 unit. So you got to move the E down 1, E prime. Move the H down 1, H prime. Move the G down 1, G prime. Move the F down 1, that's F prime. Then let me try using a highlighter, or actually I'll use a pencil here, or a purple pen. So E connects with H here, so I'm going to connect E prime with H prime. And then E connects with F in the pre-image, so E prime will connect with F prime in the image. F connects with G, F prime with G prime, and then G with H, so G prime with H prime. There it is. So it literally just went down 1 unit. So of course there's going to be some overlap. Now the question is, what are the actual coordinates? So if you take a look at this, whoever made these questions, this one, were really nice to us, because all we got to do is check E. Since every one of these E primes are different, let's check that one. So let's take a look at where E prime actually ended up. So to find the coordinate for it, you actually need to put your pencil back at the origin. And the coordinate for that is -1, because if I go further, I'll not get down to there. So if I go to -1 and then go down to -4, those are the coordinates of E prime. And there it is. None of the other ones do that, so it has to be this one. However, let's double check, just so that you understand. F prime is right here. Well, the X is 2, and it didn't go up or down, so that's why it's 2, 0. Now, where's G prime? That's one more over, and that's at 3, 0. And then going down from here, origin 3, negative 5, that's where H prime is, so C is the correct answer. If you haven't tried it already, why don't you try number 27 on your own? Pause the video and then see how much you can do on your own, and then re-pause as much as you can so you don't have to, you don't get all the answer from me at once. See if you can figure it out. This one says to translate 2 units to the right. So G is going to go 2 units to the right. F is going to go 2 units to the right. E is going to go 2 units to the right. D is going to go 2 units. 2 units to the right. And yes, there's some overlap, and that's okay. If you want to use like a colored pencil to not get confused, there it is. Okay. So now we need to, I'm going to have to number the coordinate axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're negative because it's to the left of the origin. Okay, and then these are positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then these are positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are negative. Negative 1. I know it's hard to see with all that's going on here. We'll do the best we can. Alright, so then if you notice here, these are all different. Okay, so we only have to check the D. If you want to check the E, you can. If you want to check the F, you can. You can check the G. Okay, so let's take a look at D. Okay, it was from here and then it ended up here. And since these are primes, they're asking for the coordinates for those image points. Where is that? Well, to find it, you need to go put your pencil at the origin and then go X first and then Y. So X here, I have to go to negative 3 and then down to negative 3 to get the Y coordinate. So it must be this one because none of the other ones place D prime there. If you want to check E prime just to be on the safe side, go to E prime. Here is E prime. How do you get there? You start at the origin. You have to go left 1 and up 2, which is what's shown here. So the answer has to be C.